Did someone break your heart? A guide to letting go and getting over it. Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about did someone break your heart, and basically how to get over someone breaking your heart, how to start feeling better when someone has broken your heart. So the first point that I want to get into is that you need to allow yourself to feel hurt and to feel upset. So the worst thing that you could possibly do is try to repress those feelings. Sometimes you simply have to admit that something hurt. You have to admit to yourself that it sucked. And you have to allow yourself to feel those emotions. One of the great things about children is they are so easily expressive with their emotions. You know, if they're not happy about something, they cry and they get upset about it and they thrash about. And I think one of the flaws that adults kind of do or don't do is they don't behave in that way. They don't allow themselves to freely express their emotions. Now, obviously, seeing a child have a tantrum is socially acceptable because it's a child. You know, you expect them to throw tantrums. You expect them to cry because their ice cream fell on the ground. You expect them to cry because they fell on the ground and they've scraped their knee. You expect them to do that. Obviously, you don't expect a fully grown adult to be screaming on the floor, right? But that doesn't mean that you can't do that in private. You need to let those emotions out. Obviously, you don't have to scream if you don't want to. You could just go to the gym and hit a punching bag for half an hour, or you could, ferociously write something down, and get your emotions out that way. So the important thing to do then is to get those emotions out. Do not repress them. So I know a lot of my audience are men, and, there's a lot of talk these days about men expressing their emotions freely. But the thing is about that is that sometimes men don't typically want to talk about their feelings a lot, like what women do, for example. Women are can very easily, talk to their girlfriends, talk to their mothers, talk to their sisters about how they're feeling, talk to their friends, about how something's upsetting them. And that's kind of how they get that out. They get those emotions out by communicating about them. But the thing is that is a bit more of a feminine trait. Like a guy might have to do it in a different way. Like he goes and, goes to the gym, or maybe he does talk about it, but he talks about it to his guy friends and his guy friends come up with a solution. Men should be allowed to talk about their feelings if they want to. They shouldn't be forced to do it. Because that's just sometimes not the way that they get their emotion out, okay? So don't feel like just because you're a guy that, oh no, I need to talk about my feelings now because Christine said that I need to not repress my emotions. You don't have to talk about it to someone. You could just get that frustration and that upset out in a different way. You might want to just grab a pillow and just scream into it. Or, you might want to go to the gym and hit a punching bag for half an hour. Or, go to your mates and ask for what their kind of solution might be. Because usually when you hear and you see women talking, they kind of go into the whole story. They talk about their feelings and stuff like that. They talk about what happened and stuff like that. But usually they just want people to listen to them. They just want to chat about it. Whereas guys, usually they go to their other guy friends or other people, to find a solution to help them fix it. Whereas women typically go to a conversation to just have someone that will listen to them, right? So if you're a man watching this, don't feel like you have to talk about your emotions. Only do it if you really want to. There are other ways that you can get that frustration and emotion out. You might just want to talk to yourself about it. You might just want to have some time in the man cave to kind of think about it and to marinate in your thoughts for a bit, So I think that's important to add. Just talk about it if you want to talk about it. But you can't allow yourself to repress those feelings. That's what I'm saying. I think people get confused these days about how people should communicate with each other. It seems like a lot of people are expecting men to talk about their feelings like how women do. But you've got to pay attention to the fact that men are a lot different than women and women are a lot different from men. And they might not want to communicate in the same way that women do, or perhaps some do. We're all different people. So just do. Basically what I'm saying is do what works for you, but find a way to get that emotion out of yourself. Find a way to feel better about yourself and don't repress those emotions. Get them out in some way, but you don't have to do it in the conventional ways that people are trying to put onto you these days. Do it in a way that helps you. And if you're a woman watching this, don't feel like just because I said most of the time women, like to chat about it, don't feel like you have to chat about it. Just because I've said, most women like to chat about their emotions and have someone listen to them. You don't have to do that. Do it in a way that feels good for you. It's really silly that these days people are trying to circle people into square holes and square people into circle holes. There's no one size fits all. So do what works best for you. And that's essentially what I'm trying to point out there. But the important thing is that you don't repress those feelings. You get them out in some way. Don't hide them. Don't push it down. Don't bottle it up, because it will one day come out in a different form. It may come out in toxic behaviors. It may come out in aggression, who knows? Or it may come out in, some other toxic way. Because basically, if you don't let those feelings out, it does kind of mess you up on the inside. So that's just something to point out. If you're enjoying the video so far, then please leave a like on it, and please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if there's anything you'd like me to discuss in a future video, then please leave it down in the comments. Or if you have any tips and advice yourself. So the next thing I want to talk about is to give yourself time. You're not a robot. You can't automatically get over heartbreak like that. You can't automatically get over people instantly. There's always going to be a little bit of momentum. So it's going to take you a while to grind to that halt to start feeling better about it. So give yourself a few weeks or a few months to process what's happened to you. And don't feel like you're just going to get over it straight away. Allow yourself time to heal. Because at this current time, you're probably thinking a lot about them. You're probably feeling a lot of hurt and sad emotions about this experience. So if that's what you've been feeling, then it's going to take a while for those feelings to subside. So give yourself some time, give yourself a break. Don't be too hard on yourself. If you feel like your heart has been broken, then you're going to need time to get over it. So allow yourself to have that time. And you're not weak for not being able to get over it instantly, okay? If you have a friend who was able to get over a breakup instantly, I can guarantee that they are either, and they've had their heart broken, I can guarantee that they're either someone who is lying to you and they are still bummed out about it, or they're a narcissist, and the reason why they can let go of people like that is because there's something emotionally wrong with them. Like, their emotional intelligence isn't like what a regular functioning human being is like. So don't feel weak for feeling like you should have moved on already. Give yourself time. And one of the reasons why you want to give yourself time is because you don't want to get into a rebound relationship, because rebound relationships rarely work, and usually you come out of that way worse than you would have done if you had just stayed single and given yourself time before trying to get into a relationship. So I highly recommend that you watch this video on the truth about rebound relationships if you're more interested in why it's a really bad idea to jump from one relationship to another. Another way you can start feeling better and how to get over this heartbreak is to start focusing more of your time on the things that you like to do. What are your interests? What are your hobbies? What are the things that you're naturally curious about? Go and, dive into whatever those things are, figure that out. More than likely, you probably know already what a lot of your interests are. You probably know a lot about what you're naturally curious about. So just dive into those things, hang out with friends more, hang out with family more. Get yourself out of the house, do some activities, go to the gym again if you stop going to the gym, or continue going to the gym, perhaps, join up to a few classes, and instead of just going there individually, then you can be in a group. Just start diving into those things and start to do things that are good for you, that will nourish you. And usually by going into your hobbies, diving into those things, perhaps you want to work on a side business, perhaps there's a hobby that you have that you would really love to turn into a business, or perhaps you have an idea for a book that you'd love to write. Dive into those things that you are naturally curious about, those things that you would love to do, those ideas and those dreams that you have. Start working towards those things and spend time with your family and friends, which you may have neglected to do if this is getting over a breakup, or if you've just spent a lot of time as a hermit because you've been feeling heartbroken for quite some time. Get yourself out of your house and start doing things with other people and working on your passion projects. So once you've had a few months to recover, then you can start dating new people again. And if you're interested in how to attract the right partner for you, then at the end of this video, at the end, on one of the end cards, you'll be able to find that video on how to attract the right partner. So I highly recommend that you watch that. You can skip to the end of this video right now and get to those end cards. So you can find that video straight away if you want to watch it now, and then you can come back to this video at a later date. But you know, I highly recommend that you watch that so you can attract the right person for you, because it's really important that you find someone, not only someone that you're attracted to, but someone whose lifestyle and values align with yours. But before you start dating again, make sure that you're at a place where you feel complete and content and happy with your life. Don't use a relationship as a means to make your life better. Don't use a relationship as a means to help complete you. You should already be a complete person. You should already have a lifestyle that you like. You should already have hopefully a career that you like, or at least you're working towards those things. And basically, if you feel content and if you feel complete in your life and you're happy with the trajectory of the way that your life is going, and you're not sitting around all day feeling mopey and miserable, that's when you can enter that relationship and start finding someone new. You can't go into a relationship expecting that person to make it better for you. Instead, look at your relationship as like the cherry on the cake, as opposed to the cake itself and the icing and the jam or whatever is in there, you know, the fondant. A relationship should be the cherry on top, not the complete cake. You have to make the complete cake yourself. You have to at least be happy with the trajectory of where your life is going, or you should be at least on the path to create that life that you want, not hoping that that relationship is going to make you have that life that you want. It has to be the cherry on top, not the whole thing. So I hope that's made sense to you. If you have any questions, then please leave them down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and if you would like help with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com so you can get coaching with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.